Welcome! I'm Stephen Davis with Hot Sour Sparkles, and this is Sparkle Shot News, where I'm going to go over this past week's video game and movie news and drink shots. So, let's begin with our movie news as always. Actually, start with game news. First, start with game news. Let's do that instead. It looks like that new Xbox One S has finally got a release date of August. I think it said August 2nd, and it's going to be $399. So that's a nice little price. They haven't released the price for the other two SKUs yet, which is going to be 500 gigabytes and 1 terabyte. Oh, this one also has 2 terabytes. So it's quite nifty. If I was going to get an Xbox, this would definitely be it. This would be the one. It's thinner, it's sleeker, it's prettier. So yeah, let's see. 2 terabyte version, which will sell for $399 on August 2nd. Parts of the world, including US, UK, and Australia. The 500 gigabyte console will sell for $299, and the 1 terabyte will sell for $349. All three versions will include the new Xbox One wireless controller, which is much nicer than the old one. They finally stepped it up. If I were to get one, this would be it. But maybe at a later date. Sticking on console stuff, a very nice, interesting piece of news. I shouldn't say so much. The Nintendo announced a small little NES, Nintendo NES Mini, and it will be coming with 30 games, and it will be $60. It will come with an HDMI port, so you can plug it directly to your TV. I think he said it's coming with an HDMI cord as well. But it will be a standalone device. They will not be adding more games. They won't be adding anything, which is odd. I'd be like, yeah, 30 games. Like, I'm sure there's other games they could add. They could have been like, this will be our first little thing, and then we'll release like either small little games for cheap, or like, here's a pack of 10. Here's another pack of 10. Here's another pack of 10 for like $10 a piece, $1 a game. But nope. This is just a standalone little thing. It's pretty nifty. Will come with a corded, normal little NES controller. So it looks pretty cool. If you're a fan of the old classics, this has a lot of them. Let's go over a few. It's going to have, of course, Castlevania 2, Donkey Kong, the original Donkey Kong Jr., Double Dragon 2, Dr. Mario, Excitebike, Final Fantasy, Ghosts and Goblins. Ooh, that's a very hard game. Kid Icarus, Kirby Adventures, Mario Bros. 1, 2, and 3, Mega Man 2, Metroid, okay, it's got 2 different things. Interesting. The Legend of Zelda and Zelda 2, Adventure of Link, or The Adventure of Link. So that's quite cool. I've played and own a lot of these games, but maybe I'll pick this up myself. It's fairly reasonable, fairly priced. Hook this sucker up. I have an NES. I could just buy the games I don't own. So, maybe not. But moving on, let's see. Looks like Tomb Raider finally has a PS4 announced date. It's going to be coming in November 10th. Which is quite odd. Odd. It's about a year. And what's odd is the sheer fact that, we're still going to charge $60 for it, which technically is new, but it's not new. It's a year old at this point. It's been on the Xbox for a year. Now it's coming to PS4. It's going to be $60. It's not going to come with any of the DLC or anything. They're just releasing it like a brand new game. Which I guess is not a big surprise. They want to see what money they can make. I will be getting it. Most definitely. I'll drink that eventually. Let's see. And the Telltale Batman game. Also, kind of, sort of have a release date. We'll know more next week. But currently, we'll learn more about the digital versions next week. But the physical copies of the game will be coming out on September 13th in North America and September 16th in Europe. So, very interesting. At least the first episode. Very, very interesting. Moving on to our last little piece of gaming news. Looks like Aiming Henning is finally discussing a little bit about the new Star Wars game. Not so much about it, just saying, I'm using the same process that I did on the Uncharted games to do this. I'm breaking it down, breaking the movies down to see how they best fit in a video game. Which Aiming Henning is fantastic. We can fully expect a third-person, story-driven, probably action game. And she goes on to say that more likely we'll have multiple protagonists, we'll see a lot of characters, and the process that I've been using is similar to what I did with Uncharted. To be honest, if you're trying to recreate the classic in the... excuse me. Using goals. Yeah. Interesting. She's just kind of talking about her process, which was the same that she did with Uncharted. Alright, well that's the end of the movie. Let's go ahead and just get rid of a shot. Oh! I'm okay. Maybe. I was going to get hiccups. Alright. Woo! Alright. Moving on to movie news. Woo! Kind of an in-betweener. It's going to be a game, but it refers to like a movie type deal. I'm not even sure what it is. But it's going to be a Darth Vader experience on VR, which sounds quite cool. I'm very excited about VR, and I will be getting it as soon as I can after it comes out. Let's see what they say about it. The virtual reality wizard. We look at all the characters, places, and worlds in the Star Wars universe available to us. We ask ourselves, what haven't we seen? Who are we curious about? Darth Vader is perfect ambassador to usher us into the Star Wars VR universe. So, seems cool. You'll be playing as Vader or experiencing this as Vader. You'll be able to do certain things in the VR world. The question of where the timeline, yeah. I'm just talking about when we'll be seeing him in this. Doesn't give you a lot of details, but seems very cool. A Darth Vader experience. I will be getting that on my Batman experience and all these other experiences. I haven't seen a whole lot of like, here's just a full-fledged, awesome AAA game. The only thing we have from that so far is Resident Evil 7, which I plan on also getting. So, let's see. Go on. Just a quick little breakdown of a few little things here. We seem to be getting more and more about the Power Rangers movie, which seems like it might be cool. It looks like they're going to have the original names from the original. I say original. The original names from the American version, which is it's going to be Jason, Billy, Zach, Kimberly, and Trini, I think. So we'll definitely have that. And moving on, let's see. A couple quick things. Looks like Power Rangers movie is actually going to be looking pretty cool. I'm quite interested in what they're going to do with it. Some more theories I've been hearing is that Rita Repulsa maybe like the actual was once the Green Ranger, since she's so green in this. And looks like we're going to be getting the names, a reboot, at least the Power Rangers we know in America to the beginning. We're going to be getting the originals here. Jason, Billy, Zach, Kimberly, and Trini. So it looks pretty cool. I'm very interested. I'll be interested to see the first trailer, to see exactly how this is all going to come together, and decide then if it's going to be an absolutely terrible movie or not. Hopefully it'll be good. I hope the best for that. See, moving on to Kong Skull Island, which I don't know tremendous amount about this reboot, new movie, whatever you want to call it, another Kong movie, King Kong. But they released a picture that shows, man, a giant skull. A giant skull, which just gives you an idea of how big Kong is going to be in this particular movie. Which is huge. In the first movie, in that movie, in every iteration we've had, decent iterations, he was never just absolutely ginormous. And I like the idea of him being a little bit smaller. We didn't need a Godzilla-sized King Kong. But we're going to get something a lot closer to that. Don't know why, but they really want him to be fighting Godzilla, which we're supposed to be getting at some point as well. But this is huge. This shows almost 4 people standing in front of this skull, and it still dwarfs all of them. So it's very, very interesting. He is going to be huge. You can't tell. I'm still with a cold. I can't seem to get over it. It's trying to kill me. Let's see, a couple more little things here. They officially confirmed that there will be a Star Trek 4. No big surprise. The first 2 were really good. This new one, excuse me, looks really good. It looks really, really good. And so, yeah, they've confirmed a 4th one. And the weirdest thing, it will obviously involve some type of time travel, since Chris Hemsworth will be back to play James Kirk. Not James Kirk. Oh, it's not James Kirk. What's this? It's James? No, it's George Kirk. Yes, George Kirk. So that's quite interesting. So, but that's not for another 2 years. So. Moving on to the last piece of news, which will tie right on in to the last little segment. It looks like Sony says, as far as they're concerned, as far as they're willing to do, there will definitely be a Ghostbusters 2. No, don't do it, Sony. I was hoping with the mediocre debut, it didn't even beat Pets in the second week, which we'll get to in a second. Gosh darn it. Excuse me. So, this movie has not looked good. Through every single trailer they put out, it just doesn't look good. And the reviews I've read that I trust has pretty much said this isn't a good movie. There are definitely funny moments to the movie. The first half of the movie is much better than the second half of the movie. And there's definitely there are funny moments in this movie. but it's overall just not a good movie. So, I hope it continues to do bad. I don't want them to make another one. I thought it started off with some cool ideas. In my opinion, it should have just been Ghostbusters 3. And they should have gotten the 3 main characters that are still alive, unfortunately. And it should have been these girls came on and started trying to do their own thing. And, I don't know, and actually had the old cast playing Ghostbusters. Are retired. They've been out of the game for a while. Maybe they mentored the new girls into the role. And they should have played. I don't know. It's just like a dumb comedy. That's my opinion. It doesn't look very good. There were some good ideas to begin with, but it just didn't pan out. So, with that said, we'll move on. Move on to the last little segment. 5 for 5, movie where I'll discuss. I'm gonna drink this, and then discuss my predictions for last week's top 5 box office, and try to predict this coming weekend's top 5. Which I do good sometimes. I do really, really bad most of the time. If I wouldn't have bet on new Bryan Cranston movie doing well, not even well, I would have done so much better in this. I hope The Infiltrator was going to do well. I unfortunately did not go see anything over this past week. It was my anniversary, and we just didn't get to the movies. We just kind of hung out in the house. I got some food and did a couple little things, but didn't get to the movies. But my one movie ticket wouldn't have helped this movie jump up, 5 spots. The Infiltrator did not do very well. It only made $5 million, came in 8th place. But my prediction that Pets would remain number 1 was right. I said it was going to be Pets, Ghostbusters, Infiltrator, Tarzan, and then Dory. And it turned out to be Pets, Ghostbusters, only by 2. Ghostbusters did 46. Pets did 50, but it still did it. Then it was Tarzan, Dory. And then that comedy, Mike and Dave Need a Wedding Dates. So, I was close. I just would have put like Infiltrator number 5. I would have gotten 4 out of 5. In this case, now I only got 2 of 5. Bad me. Ghostbusters. Supposedly it took $144 million to make, and you add marketing and advertising of all whatever they can do, and you're talking about a much bigger budget. So 46, not atrocious, but not good, and they actually have some decent competition coming up the next few weeks. So this movie's going to drop off bad. And I think it only made $19 million overseas, so it's only sitting at almost 70, not even 70, $65 million globally. Not that fantastic. Which is kind of what I wanted. And for them to say, oh, we have full intentions of making a sequel. Don't make a sequel. This wasn't good. You should have done this so differently. Why didn't you? So sad. So sad. Oh. Yes, this weekend, of course, Star Trek and Ice Age and Lights Out all coming out this weekend. There's no chance of Ghostbusters doing well. You have a kids movie. You've got a almost everyone movie, but the teen movie, but it's going to be fantastic, Star Trek. And then you have a horror movie. That's also rated PG-13. So Star Trek, 91. Lights Out, 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. I'm so surprised. With Ice Age at a 16. It doesn't look that fantastic. They really should have quit making those a while back. But it's still a kids movie. So, what am I going to say? How do we think this is going to do? I don't know. That's the things I don't know. I say Star Trek #1. I want it to come #1. I think it will. I think it's fun, family friendly enough that even the people who don't take kids to see Ice Age because God, I don't want to sit through an Ice Age movie. Maybe they're just a little old enough. Maybe they're not 5 or 6. Maybe 8, 9, 10. And they're we'll go see Star Trek instead. So, I think Star Trek #1. Pets will, of course, drop off again. This is 3rd week. So, I want to say Ice Age #2? Now let's see where Lights Out. I want to put Lights Out on here. I want to say followed by Secret Life of Pets, followed by Ghostbusters. I want to say Lights Out is a horror movie. It's got really good reviews. But probably do alright. But I want to say 5th. I don't know how good it's going to do. I don't know the buzz behind this movie. So, Star Trek, Ice Age, Secret Life of Pets, Ghostbusters, Lights Out. Yeah, that sounds about right. That's what I want to do. Lights Out might move in there, but I don't see anything else. I think I'll be solid on the top 5. Yeah. Unless Lights Out just does atrocious. And then I won't. But it's got really good reviews. It looks cool. I might even go see that. I don't see a lot of horror movies. Let's drink the last shot. And as always, we'll add more sparkles. Woo! A lot of sparkles. Sparkles. That was more rough than usual. Woo! Alright. That's all I've got for the day. I'll see you next week. You can reach me at BJChickGamer. Till next time, be well.